This is the Self-Aware Leader Podcast. Now your host, Jason Rigby.
The power of accountability. I want to talk about two primary types of accountability. And I read a great newsletter on this, and it's a newsletter, and I encourage you to subscribe to it. It's called The Process, TheProcess, The Process. Well, there are two primary types of accountability. There's accountability to yourself, and then accountability to others. And accountability is huge when we're looking at specifically when it comes to leadership. Not only is it going to help you with personal development in your personal life, but it's also going to help you when you're dealing with others, when you're working with others, when you're serving others, when you're acting in any form of leadership, whether it's with your children, whether it's with your spouse or partner, whether it's with a loved one, whoever it may be. When you get in a form of leadership, there has to be accountability for there to be success. So let's talk about first, because we got to put the oxygen mask on us first before we can help someone else. We've learned that in planes. You know, the most horrific thing that can happen is we crash in a plane crash, but they tell us, you put the oxygen mask on you first, and then because you can breathe normal, then you're able to help someone else. So being accountable to yourself. Your goals, guys, your goals are meaningless without a commitment to do the work. And that commitment, the framework of that, how it is hammered and forged in is through personal accountability. So how do you develop personal accountability? How do you develop it? Well, there are a few strategies that we're going to go over today, and I encourage you to look at this process newsletter, and you'll see a little bit more. They have, how to get an accountable partner, making your goals public, using frameworks like the Eisenhower Matrix to manage more time effectively, and they have links for all of these. But I want to share with you, I want to talk about accountability partner because I love this, and it's so simple to do, and it's free. You don't need to hire a coach. You can if you want to have somebody hold you accountable, but holding yourself accountable and getting someone else to help you will make that friendship 10 times better, because your friend will probably have a list of things that you can help them be accountable to. And what I love to do is meet once a month, set it in stone. We're going to hold ourselves accountable to the accountability meeting. We do not cancel the meeting unless it's an absolute emergency. And we're going to get clear and define what an emergency is. That means somebody has to be super sick, and somebody, our family member or something like that, a child has to be super sick. Other than that, no matter what it is, if I have to take time off of work, no matter what it is, we are going to go and show up the accountability meeting. That is the most important thing I have all month. And you and your friend make that decision. You guys will be able to see each other once a month. That will be awesome. But the beautiful part about it is you can have a meal, you can have brunch, you can have some drinks or whatever, and you go over and you talk to each other with that list that you guys has made. You talk to each other and you're like, yeah, I kind of like 1 to 10. I kind of was like a 2 this last month. Well, how do we bring that up to a 5, a 6, or a 7? Well, I only went to the gym 5 times last month. Well, I went to the gym 15 times, and here's what helped me. You see how that friendship begins to mature? There's an old proverb that iron sharpeneth iron. That's so important, guys, that you have accountability partner. Number 2, make your goals public. Put some social pressure on you to hold yourself accountable. Put it out there on a social post. These things, behavioral psychologists call stimulus control. So that your environment that you're in influences your behavior. We know this. If you hang around 5 negative people constantly every day, day in and day out, you're going to be a negative person. And I've done podcasts on this before. If you want to be more accountable, then you've got to schedule it. You've got to share it and have it open. You've got to set alarms Schedule time on the calendar. That's the first thing you do. And I like to use working out because I do this for myself. I hired a personal trainer. It's expensive. Yes, it is. But I also made a rule with him that if I cancel, he gets to keep the money, period. If I cancel, we go 3 to 4 times a week. And if I cancel, he keeps the money, unless it's a vacation. So you got to make rules clear, guys. And we shook on it and made that agreement. So I have to go to the gym or I lose out on that money. That's what I needed. And I've done it for 2.5 years. And I've lost 40 pounds in the process and gained a ton of muscle. And now I'm doing things that I never thought I'd be doing at 49 in the way that I'm working out. And I'm stepping it up even more because I need to do more cardio. And I need to, so look, I'm giving it to you guys right now, the community, the self-aware leadership community. And this will be part of our program. Our community is to hold each other accountable. We're going to have where we can put that out there in the community that I will be starting here very, very, very soon. We've been working on it, super excited about it. It's very inexpensive. For everything that you get, it's $39 a month. And you're in a community. You're going to get Zoom calls. There's coaching. There's a lot of things. There's questions being answered. There's a lot of things that you're going to be able to see, do, and hear, and be a part of. It's just exciting. I'm super excited about what's coming up with the Self-Aware Leader community. So let's be accountable to others. When you're accountable to others, guess what happens? The byproduct of that is that it creates trust. And to me, and I guarantee you to you too, trust is the foundation of all relationships. In a team, if you hold yourself accountable to the other teammates and they know that they can call each other out, you need to, I don't mean to be, I'm wanting to be positive when I say this. In AA meetings, they have that. Not one person is kind of over the other person. There may be somebody that kind of leads the meeting and then they take turns. And I've never gone to one. I've only heard friends of mine and stuff like that have had problems with addiction. And it's so beautiful. And I think that we could take some examples of that. And I need to do a podcast on that where we can hold each other accountable as teammates and that there's no leader when it comes to accountability. That no one gets a pass when it comes to accountability. And I think it's beautiful. It may ruffle some feathers and kind of piss people off when they first get affronted by it, but you got to let people know that's just your ego. If I get pissed at you, that's just my ego flaring up. It doesn't have anything to do. The emotion that I'm feeling, the anger or the embarrassment because I've been kind of found out, that there is just an emotion and it goes away really quick, but that doesn't have anything to do with the relationship. And that brings me to the family. Hold yourself accountable to your partner, your spouse, your kids. Have conversations with them about it. Say, hey, Dad's really working on trying to lose weight. I need somebody to walk with me. Who can walk with me? I want to walk and we can have a conversation. It's so beautiful when families sit at a table when they walk. I'm not being old-fashioned here. I'm just saying sit at the table, have a meal, then go for a walk, get rid of your phones. It's a beautiful thing. And then at work, you're accountable to your customers, to your clients, to your colleagues. Specifically, you're accountable to fulfilling your responsibilities. And when you do this, not only is the byproduct trust, but guess what else happens? This is the beautiful part. You become dependable. How many people are dependable nowadays? How many people uphold their commitments to others? So I'm going to encourage you guys, 3 quick, timeless lessons. Build a framework for success, hold yourself accountable to it, and stay grounded. And if you begin to develop the roots and put the seeds of personal accountability and then being accountable to others, and then you build that soil of discipline of being accountable, you will be successful because accountable people become successful people.
Thank you for tuning in to the Self-Aware Leader Podcast with host Jason Rigby. We hope this episode has inspired you to unleash your full potential and embrace your inner leadership. By expanding your consciousness, you can transform your mind, body, and soul and become the remarkable leader you were always meant to be. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with your loved ones and help us expand our community. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to having you join us again on the Self-Aware Leader Podcast.